So myself is Srinivas. I'm having 16 plus years experience. I started my career as Unix administrator. I worked on SCO Unix, Sun Solaris, Linux, HP Unix, IBM AX. I was into storage technologies, Veritas Volume Manager, Veritas Cluster, Veritas Net Backup. Now I'm into the cloud, AWS DevOps, Azure DevOps. This demo is for Linux administration part. Today, the trending technology is AWS DevOps, Azure DevOps. For AWS DevOps, Azure DevOps, Linux is mandatory. Without Linux administration, you can't learn the AWS or Azure, even DevOps as well. Basically, the real time, we have two types of teams, development team and operation team. There is no IT company without development, without operation. Developers, programmers, those comes under development team. To get a job as a developer, mandatory is BTech computer science. You are good at the programming, but you don't have BTech, you never get a job. BTech is mandatory. What about the guys who don't have a BTech? What about the guys who don't have a programming skills? They can go for operation. No coding skills required. No coding skills required. Anyone can learn. Which are comes under operation team, system admin. System admin nothing but Windows or Linux admins. Network admin. Storage. Backup. Database. All this comes under operation team. Monitoring. All this comes under operation team. No coding skills required. Anyone can learn, any degree eligible. Even BA, BCom, anyone can learn. Any degree eligible for this. But nowadays, no jobs on system admin, no jobs on network, no jobs on storage, no jobs on backup, because all these technologies are replaced with one technology that is called cloud. Either AWS or Azure or GCP comes under cloud technologies, cloud platform. Rather than learning these many technologies, learn only one technology called cloud. In cloud, we'll discuss everything, system admin, network, storage, backup, everything will be covered in the cloud. But mandatory need to learn Linux administration part. Without Linux, you can't learn the cloud. So Linux administration, there are RHEL, stands Red Hat, Enterprise, Linux, and RSC, Red Hat, Certified System Engineer. Both the papers will be covered in your course. Both the papers will be covered in course. The course duration is 40 days. Course duration 40 days. There are three papers are there. One is called SA1, SAS stands System Administration Paper 1. Here will be covered Linux fundamentals, Linux basics. It is for 10 days classes. Next, SA2, System Admin Paper 2. Which is 20 days. And NA, Network Admin. Which is 20 days. So overall is going to be 50 days duration. This is about the course curriculum. What are the topics will be covered in Linux admin that we'll discuss tomorrow class. Today we'll talk about why we have to learn Linux, what is different between Windows and Unix, what is client, what is server, where we use Microsoft family and where we use Unix family or Linux family. Basically, Linux is a operating system. How many types of operating systems we have? There are two types. One is Windows Microsoft family. The other one is Unix family. There are two types of operating system. One is Windows. The other one is Unix. What's the meaning of operating system? Why do you need a? Why do you need operating system? Which interact with the hardware? Deal with the hardware. You want to interact with any hardware devices? We need a software. That software we call it as operating system. There are two types of OS. One is Windows, the other one is Unix. Difference is Windows, everything is GUI, graphical user interface. Unix, everything is CLI. CLI stands command line interface. Windows, everything is graphical. Unix, everything is command line. The Microsoft has been classified as two types. Those are Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. And we also have Windows 2012 called 2012, Windows 2016, 2016, Windows 2019, 2019, Windows 22, 2022. What is the difference between Windows 7, 8, 10, 11 between 2012, 2016, 2019? The difference is Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, all this comes under client operating systems. Microsoft has been classified as two types, client OS and server OS. Windows 2012, 2016, 2019 comes under server operating system. So there are two types of OS, client OS and server OS. So Windows we have a client OS and server OS. What is different between client and server? Client is a single user. In your laptop, will always install the client operating system. Windows 10, Windows 11. The client is a single user. Laptop is a single user. Desktop is a single user. What is the meaning of single user? Only one user can log in at a time. In your laptop or desktop, we cannot log in more than one user at a time. That is called single user. All ATM machines also single user. Only one ATM card we can insert at a time. Whereas server is multi-user. Example for multi-user, gmail.com, Yahoo, Facebook, YouTube, all this comes under multi-user. Multiple user can log in Gmail at a time. More than one user can log into Gmail, Yahoo, Facebook. All these are multi-user. Basically, those are comes under applications. To deploy an application, we need a server operating system where server is a multi-user. You can't deploy your application on single user on client OS. We need a server OS. So Microsoft, we have a client OS and server OS. Coming to the Unix, you have Linux, Solaris, HP Unix, IBM AX, Macintosh, AppleTalk, Digital Unix, Score Unix, 264 Unix, NCR Unix. There are so many flavors. All this comes under Unix family. All this comes under Unix family. Windows, we have a client OS and server OS. Unix, there is no client OS. All are server operating system. When you say Unix, Unix always server. Unix cannot be a client. There could be any flavor. There could be any flavor. All are server operating system. In Unix, we don't have a client, only server. Another difference is client cannot share the resources. Resources nothing but data, whereas server can share the resources. I have some data in my lab. I like to share my data with you people. I cannot share. I need a pen drive. To share the data from one laptop to another laptop, we need a pen drive. Without pen drive, we cannot share the data. If you don't have a pen drive, you need internet connection through Gmail or Google Drive. We can share the data. What is Gmail, Google Drive? Those are comes under server operating system, not the client OS. Client cannot share the data, whereas server can share the data. So in Unix, we don't have a client. All are server operating systems. So in real time, clients always Windows. No matter those are client OS or server OS. The real time clients always Microsoft family and servers always Unix family. The Unix always servers, Windows always clients. So this is difference between what is client, what is server. Next, you want to access any hardware devices like mobile is a hardware, keyboard is a hardware, mouse is a hardware. You require a driver. What's the meaning of driver? A driver is a piece of software. A driver is a piece of software which interact with the hardware. So that is called device driver. A device driver is a piece of software which interact with the hardware. So there are two types of device drivers. One is called monolithic device driver. The other one is modular. There are two types of device drivers, monolithic and modular. What is the difference between monolithic and modular? Monolithic means cannot be changed, cannot be removed, cannot be added. That is called monolithic. What is modular? A module can be added, a module can be removed. We can install the module, we can uninstall the module. That is difference between monolithic and modular. For example, in your mobile, what is mobile? What is the monolithic in the mobile which cannot be uninstalled, which cannot be removed? That is called operating system. What is operating system? Android, iOS. iOS stands iPhone operating system. You cannot uninstall it, you cannot remove it. That is called monolithic. We can't uninstall the Android or iOS. What is modular? Apps can be installed, apps can be uninstalled. That is called modular. Whatever apps you are downloading from Play Store, this comes under modular. Can be installed, can be uninstalled. That is the difference between monolithic and modular. Finally, your mobile is what? Is it monolithic or modular? It is not 100% monolithic, not 100% modular. Your operating system, Android, iOS, that is called monolithic. Remaining, everything is a module. So even Microsoft Windows operating system, it is not 100% monolithic, not 100% modular. The operating system is monolithic. You can't uninstall the Windows. Whatever drivers we are installing from internet, those comes under modular. We'll see that what are the drivers that are installed during installation later. Now coming to the architecture, we're learning Windows administration. You need to learn Windows architecture. We're learning Unix, Linux administration, understand Unix architecture. So there is a hardware, laptop is a hardware. On top of that, there is a kernel. On top of the kernel, you are the user. Hardware, kernel, and user. This is Windows architecture. Coming to the Unix architecture, hardware, kernel, shell. On top of the shell, you are the user. So in Microsoft, user always interact with the kernel, and kernel will interact with the hardware. What do you mean by kernel? Nothing but operating system. For Android, in mobile, Android is a kernel. iOS is the kernel. Kernel, operating system, both are same. No difference. If you go to about phone, we can see the kernel version. What is kernel? Nothing but operating system. So Microsoft user always interact with the kernel. Kernel will interact with the hardware. Whereas Unix user cannot directly interact with the kernel. User always interact with the shell, and shell will interact with the kernel, and kernel will interact with the hardware. The difference between Windows architecture, Unix architecture, no shell in Windows, shell only in Unix. So how do you define the kernel? In the software, which interacts with the hardware devices. Is the interface between the user and the hardware. It's a file which contains all system drivers, which are called system drivers: CPU driver, motherboard, hard disk, keyboard, mouse, monitor. All this comes under system drivers. Every operating system has their own kernel. What is kernel? It's a file. Every OS has their own kernel. The name of the kernel file Linux we call VM Linux. VM Linux, name of the kernel in Linux. In Solaris, the name of the kernel we call Unix. HP Unix, the name of the kernel we call VM Unix. In Windows, the name of the kernel we call command.com and io.c. There are two kernel files in Windows. One is command.com, the other one is io.c. Both files we call it as a kernel. So what is this command.com? How to go to command.com? Press Windows R, type CMD. Go to command prompt. This is called command.com. We can run the commands like dir to see the files and folders, cls clear the screen, md make folder, make directory, cd change directory, rd remove directory. All these commands are in the command.com. All these commands are command.com. What is command.com? Nothing but a kernel. So all the commands are in the kernel. All these commands are in the kernel command.com. What io.sys file contains? This file contains all system drivers. How to see the system drivers? Go to device manager. We can see all the system drivers. The meaning of system drivers, these drivers are automatically installed at the time of installation of operating system. When I install Windows family through DVD, the drivers are automatically installed. The meaning of system drivers, you cannot uninstall it. You can't uninstall the firmware, keyboard driver, or hard disk driver, CPU driver, motherboard driver. You can't uninstall it. These drivers are automatically installed during installation and we cannot uninstall it. Finally, what I mean to say, kernel always monolithic. What is the meaning of monolithic? You cannot uninstall it, you cannot remove it. What is Android? It's a kernel. If you go to about phone, we can see the kernel version. You can't uninstall the kernel. So either Windows family or Unix family, the kernel always monolithic. Kernel cannot be uninstalled, kernel cannot be removed. Why these are called Microsoft family, also called flavors of Windows? For all Microsoft family, the kernel is same. The files command.com, io.sys, these files are common. These files are same. That's why we call it as Microsoft family or flavors of Windows. When the kernel is same, why the named as Windows 8, Windows 10? All these are upgrade version. We cannot uninstall the kernel, but we can upgrade the kernel. Even in your mobile, we can't uninstall the Android, iOS, but we can upgrade it. Sometimes we'll get the notification, upgrade your software, nothing but we are upgrading the kernel. So finally, kernel cannot be uninstalled, kernel cannot be removed. So kernel always monolithic. Coming to the Unix. What is the shell? A shell is a command interpreter. It's a command interpreter. Or the user and the kernel. In Microsoft, user can directly interact with the kernel. Unix user cannot directly interact with the kernel. Will always interact with the shell. And shell will interact with the kernel. Unix we have a commands like ls. ls lists the files. ls lists the files. pwd present working directory. mkdir make directory. Clear the screen. rmdir remove directory. All these commands are where not in the kernel, in the shell. All the commands are in the shell. That's why shell is a command interpreter. That is the main difference between Windows architecture, Unix architecture. No shell in Microsoft, shell only in Unix. What is the advantage of this shell? Because of shell, no virus for Unix. We never heard about virus for Unix, virus only for Microsoft. Why the database server applications, databases will always deploy on Unix, why not Windows? Because of no virus for Unix, virus only for Windows. Why Unix is virus free? Because of the shell. Any program, almost all the virus files are .exe extension. The virus files are .exe extension. The shell cannot understand what is .exe file. Any program or command which are unknown to the shell, those commands cannot be run, cannot be executed. That's why no virus to the kernel. Right. For example, you take cold drink. There are so many flavors in cold drink like Pepsi, Thumbs Up, Coca-Cola, and so on. Why we call flavors of cold drink? Whenever we say flavor, there should be some monolithic. What is monolithic in the cool drink that cannot be changed, that cannot be removed? That is called water. We cannot remove the water, we cannot change the water. So water is monolithic, which cannot be changed. That's why we call it as flavors of cool drink. What is different between Pepsi and cool drink? Pepsi is the flavor of cool drink, Thumbs Up is the flavor of cool drink. So what is cool drink? It's a trademark or generic word. Trademark or generic word. If you go to shop, we never ask the shopkeeper, give me the cool drink. We should tell the flavor. Either Pepsi, Thumbs Up, tell the flavor. No meaning for the cool drink. So cool drink is a trademark. How do you identify the shopkeeper gave you Pepsi or Thumbs Up? The color remains same by seeing the label. If I remove the label, no difference between Pepsi and Thumbs Up. Likewise, in my lab, I install Windows. If I say Windows, there is no meaning. Windows is the trademark. I should tell that I install Windows 10, Windows 11. No meaning for Windows. We should tell the flavor. How do we come to know that you install Windows 10 or 11? Go to this PC properties. Here we can see Windows 10. So Windows is the trademark. We should tell that I install Windows 10, Windows 11. No meaning for Windows. You're looking for a job on Windows administration. If you go to Naukri, they clearly mention that we need 2019 administrator, 3 to 4 years experience, Windows 2022 administrator, 3 to 4 years experience. They never mention that we need Windows administrator. Likewise, don't think that Unix is different, Linux is different. Unix is the trademark. Under Unix, there are so many flavors. If you go to Naukri, clearly mention that Linux administrator 0 to 4 years experience, Solaris administrator 10 to 15 years experience, AX administrator 10 to 15 years experience. They never mention that Unix administration, Unix administrator, Unix is the trademark. Like we have a cloud computing. We have a cloud computing. In cloud computing, we have AWS cloud, Azure cloud, GCP cloud, all this comes under cloud. Just hold on. All of you mute yourself. Hello. So all this comes under cloud computing. They clearly mention that we need AWS cloud, Azure cloud, GCP cloud. Cloud is a trademark. We should tell that AWS or Azure or GCP. So finally, what I mean to say, Unix or Linux, both are same. Don't think that both are different. Under Unix, there are so many family, Unix family. So Linux is one of the Unix family. Solaris is one of the Unix family. Right. Now we have a client. We discuss what is client, what is server. Client is single user, server is multi-user. Client cannot share the data, server can share the data. A laptop desktop is always client. But real time, we never work on the client, we always work on the server. Where these servers are remotely located, anywhere on internet. The clients always Windows 10, Windows 11. Servers are Windows 2012 or 2016, Windows 2019. These are server operating systems. When client is Windows, server also Windows, we call it as homogeneous. Homogeneous means what? Same Microsoft family. The kernel is same, operating system is same. Tomorrow when you join as a Windows administrator, they'll give one laptop to you. Or tomorrow when you go for experience, 2 to 3 years experience on Windows, AWS or Azure or Linux, definitely the last one question, what is your physical access? What is your physical access? If you say that my physical access is 2012, 2016, 2019, they can understand you have fake experience. Our physical access always laptop. Laptop is our physical access, where we always install Windows 10, Windows 11. Where the servers are on internet. Anywhere, internet means what? Anywhere in the world. AWS is cloud. Cloud is nothing but internet. It may be in AWS cloud or Azure cloud. How we are going to log into the server from your Windows client, from your laptop? Here we are going to use some protocol that is called RDP. RDP stands Remote Desktop Protocol. When we are going to use RDP, When the client is Windows, server also Windows. When both are Windows family. When both are Windows family, they are going to use RDP. When, for example, in your laptop, if you type remote desktop connection, the server is on internet anywhere in the world or maybe in the cloud, how you are going to connect from your client from your laptop by using remote desktop connection. What do you require? You need the IP address of the server. You need the IP address of the server and credentials, login name and password. If I have IP address and credentials, I can log into any Windows server on internet without knowing the physical location of the server. When the client is Unix, for example, Mac OS, MacBook. MacBook is a client. It's a Unix operating system, Linux operating system, and the server is a Linux. Mac OS, MacBook, we always use it as a client. We can purchase a laptop with MacBook or Mac OS. In that case, your laptop is a client, but my server is Linux, Red Hat Linux. When both are Unix family, both are Unix. When both are Unix family, we also call homogeneous. Why? Because the kernel is same. So what we are going to use when both are Unix? We are going to use SSH, stand secure shell. With the help of SSH, we're able to log into the Linux server, the servers on internet from client using SSH, secure shell. But most of the cases, the real time, clients always Windows. Laptop is a Windows, desktop is a Windows, and servers always Linux. Servers always Linux. How we are going to connect to the server from Windows family, from the client? We are going to use a third-party software that is called Putty. With the help of this Putty tool, you're able to log into the Linux servers, the servers on internet. So, as an infrastructure admin, who are infrastructure admin, cloud, AWS cloud, Azure cloud, Linux, Windows, all this comes under infrastructure. Being infrastructure admin, we should know that how to log into the Linux servers, Unix servers from Windows client. We'll be discussing everything theoretically, practically, how to access the servers on internet. When clients are Windows, servers are Unix or Linux, we call it as heterogeneous. In the real time, we are going to work only in heterogeneous environment. Meaning of heterogeneous, clients always Windows, servers always Linux. So the major difference between Windows family and Unix family, Windows everything is graphical mode, GUI mode, graphical user interface. Whereas Unix is CLI, command line interface. In order to work on Microsoft family, any Windows family, We need a mouse. Without mouse, we can't able to work. To work on Unix family, any flavor of Unix, we need a keyboard. Without keyboard, we can't able to work. I'll show you how to connect to the servers on internet from your laptop. So if you have account AWS, if you have account in AWS, hello, am I audible everyone? Okay. If you have account AWS, we can log into the AWS, we can create one instance, launch instance, connect to the server. Otherwise, I'll show you how to install Linux in your laptop. We don't require account in AWS. Install OS in your laptop. We can practice in your laptop. I'll show you both. Windows, we have a PowerShell. Like we have a shell in Unix, Windows, there is a PowerShell. So my laptop is Windows, but I connected to the Linux server, the servers in AWS cloud, nothing but internet. It's a Linux server. How to know that? Run the command uname -s. What is showing that? It's a Linux. If this server is Solaris, we'll see the output as a Sun OS. If this server is HP Unix, we will see the output as HP UX. By typing this command, we'll come to know that what flavor of Unix it is. I told you, Unix, everything is CLI, command line. No desktop, no graphical. Everything is a command line. This is one method. The other method is through putty. In the real time, we'll always log into the Linux servers with the help of the putty tool. So what I required, I need a IP address of the server. What IP? Public IP. Install the putty in your laptop, which is third-party software. So copy the IP address here. Default username is issued-user. I'll explain all these options later. So Linux administration, I'll also show you how to create the account in AWS, how to launch the servers in AWS, how to connect to the servers in AWS cloud. We'll see both. So I logged the Linux server in AWS cloud from my laptop from Windows. This is called heterogeneous. What is heterogeneous? Clients always Windows, servers always Unix or Linux. You can check it. Uname -s. It's a Linux. This is what real time. This is called heterogeneous. Meaning of heterogeneous, laptop is a Windows, desktop is a Windows. We always log to the Linux server from Windows client, that is called heterogeneous. The real time will always work only in heterogeneous environment. What is backend? What is front end? Front end, always we use Microsoft Windows family. Backend, always Unix family, Unix or Linux. What is front end? What is backend? I told you that our physical access always Windows. Laptop is a Windows, desktop is a Windows. If you go to ATM, all the ATM machines are Windows. Your ATM is a physical access. That is called Windows. That is called front end. Back end means what? We don't know where the servers are physically located. We can't able to see those servers. When you log in as ATM user with ATM card, the ATM machine is the front end where Windows is installed. But after logging as ATM user, we're able to see how much amount we have. We can draw the amount where the data is in the database. The data is in the database. Where database is installed, database will always install on Unix servers or Linux servers. We never prefer database on Windows. Database always on Linux. The meaning of backend, we don't know where the database servers are. We don't know where the Linux servers are. Anywhere on internet. Why we never prefer database on Windows? Why only Unix family? Why not Windows? Why? Because earlier we discussed that Windows has virus. Unix or Linux, no virus. Windows has downtime. Unix or Linux, no downtime. What is the meaning of downtime? If you are working as a Windows administrator, if found some issue on the server, we are trying to resolve that issue, but we are not able to resolve. The final solution is reboot the server. Any issue, if you're not able to resolve it, you try for 2 days, 3 days, but issue is not resolving. The final solution is reboot the server. If you reboot the server, all the problems will be resolved. But what's the problem if I reboot my database server, application server? Downtime to the application, downtime to the end user. If I reboot the database application server, it is going to take 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 to 2 hours to up the system. So 1 to 2 hours, no one can access my application. Google Pay is down for 1 hour or 2 hours because the server is rebooted. It takes more than 2 hours to up the system. Do you remember 3-4 months back, WhatsApp is down for 1 hour? 3-4 years back, WhatsApp is down for 3 hours. 7 years back, Facebook is down for 5 hours. Recently, microservices are down. All the flights are cancelled. That is called downtime. If Google Pay server is down, no one can able to pay the amount through Google Pay, then everyone will switch to the phone pay. They lose their business. That is called downtime. Unix servers, Linux servers, we never shut down, we never reboot. No downtime for Unix or Linux. Because of no virus, because of no downtime, we'll always prefer databases, applications will always deploy on Linux servers. Just why before going to the any cloud or DevOps, first you have to learn Linux administration. After completion of Linux administration, for better opportunities, we can learn cloud, we can learn DevOps. So this is the demo session. Tomorrow we are going to start Linux fundamentals, Linux basics. Tomorrow I'm going to explain what are the topics will be covered, Linux administration. Then we'll start the Linux fundamentals. I'll show you installation part on your laptop and how to create the account in AWS, how to access Linux servers, the servers in AWS cloud. Yeah, every day we'll get recorded sessions and the soft copy. AWS का क्या? AWS पहले इसका AWS का पहले लिनक्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सीख लेना, इसके बाद AWS सीखना. Yeah, I told you no. All the servers AWS are Linux servers only. We are going to work. We are going to deploy your applications on AWS on Linux servers. हाँ, काम आएगा. So who are looking to go? Yeah, partner. Yeah, tell me. Yes, I recorded. I think. I think. Okay, I'll send the recorded session to you. Yeah, I'll tell you. Thank you. Any questions, guys? 0 to 4 years. Yeah, tell me. 2 months. 45 days. See, first of all, we are not in the programming. We are not the developers to explain the projects. We are in the infrastructure. The infrastructure, our job is only roles and responsibilities. The roles and responsibilities are troubleshooting. What problems will face in the real time? How to troubleshoot it? Yeah, there's no kind of like projects. Yeah. Yes. Yes. All the troubleshooting. The system is not booting. How to troubleshoot it? System is always rebooting. Yeah. Everything. Whatever we are going to do the real time, everything will be discussed in the classes. Okay. Yeah, I'll start from the scratch. Start from the scratch. Nothing to worry about that. Yeah, for this batch, 8 to 9 only. I'm going to start another batch. I'll let you know the timings. What timings you prefer? After 8:30 morning. Okay. I'll let you know. Maybe it'll take 1 month to start the batch. Yeah, this batch only 8 to 9. I'll show you how to download this software from internet tomorrow. Any questions? Okay. See you tomorrow, same time.